What's up, you guys? What's up, you guys? What's up, you guys? Man, what another amazing episode of The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 6, Chapter 14, The Tragedy. Man, so many things to dive into. But if this is your very first time ever watching any of my videos, hit that subscribe button. Then hit that bell right next to it. That way you get all the notifications of every time I'm releasing a video here on my YouTube channel. Guys, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button as well. That way you get all my videos in the algorithm every time I am posting on my channel. So I know no one hasn't dropped into the chat yet, but I can't wait for you guys to drop in and leave your exciting comments about this episode really quick. I know I said a Real Debates highlights episode will drop today. It will definitely drop today. But that will drop after this review. So the Real Debates highlights will drop after this. I was just putting some final touches on it. What's up, Han Solo? Haven't seen it yet. Dang, man, bro, I would encourage you to go see it, because I'm not gonna name too many spoilers, but bro, oh my god, this I have to say, this is on par of the last episode that we saw with Ahsoka Tano. But to get into the episode, it literally picks up right after what happened in the last episode. We also see, Mando acknowledging, the Baby Yoda as Grogu, getting used to calling him by his birth name. We see so many cool things in this episode where we finally make it to the Jedi Temple, and Mando has an encounter with Boba Fett. And Boba Fett, oh my God, let me just say, without spoiling too much, he acknowledges to Mando that he's been tracking him, giving him the backstory of why he's looking for the Mandalorian, but he wanted his armor back, and him and Mando have an exchange. And the way, I have to go anyway, LOL, but have a nice stream. Thanks, Hanlo. If you can come back, just come back anytime. But thanks for being on the stream, I do appreciate it. But yeah, just watching Mando and Boba Fett interact with one another was just freaking amazing. I was just glad to see those two guys interact with one another. The fight scenes in this show felt like an ongoing action battle, kind of like in a sense John Wick, because when you see Boba Fett fighting in this episode, Boba Fett is not using his armor at all. He's not using his armor at all, and he's a badass. And his apprentice that's with him is a badass in herself. We find that, I forget what the character's name, but he didn't need his armor to take out those stormtroopers. Which is also very cool, is that Mando lets Boba Fett know that, hey, this armor is not yours. But Boba Fett keeps name dropping, well, my father was Jango Fett, and he was a Mandalorian. He served with the Mandalorian. Right, by right, this armor belongs to me. So there's a scene in this show, and the show is only about 34 minutes, something like that. There's a scene where Boba Fett gets done taking out some stormtroopers, and he grows into the Razor Crest and takes his suit. The Razor Crest gets destroyed, gets pummeled out of nowhere. But then Boba Fett comes out of nowhere with his Mandalorian armor and just wrecks shop in the whole episode. I mean, this episode was mind-boggling. Just to see why they called it the tragedy is just fucking amazing. Oh my God, I was just in this episode, I was so sucked in. The progression in this episode was crazy. The action was crazy. By the way, if anyone is from the stream, from last week's stream, I said that I would start watching Clone Wars to get a better understanding of what's going on in the Star Wars lore. I started Clone Wars. I'm on episode, I believe, 3 or 4. Clone Wars is actually pretty good. I watched the Clone Wars movie. And then I picked up after the movie. Man, What I have to say, this is freaking amazing, amazing. Yeah, I'm blown away by what we saw in this episode. By the way, another cool thing about this episode, Mando's trying to stop Baby Yoda from reaching another Jedi, like reaching the other Jedi to see if they heard his call, but he has this protective force field around. Baby Yoda has this protective force field around him, and every time Mando tries to get him, he can't. He gets shocked by it, and you just see like Mando doesn't really want anything bad to happen to Baby Yoda. But man, I have to say I was just floored. Another cool scene about this whole thing is that how that character, the character who had the sniper, I forget the character's name, but she was picking off the stormtroopers one by one. Like literally, she was holding her own. She didn't need any help from anyone. I mean, like what really drove this story was the action. Like this was such an action-packed episode. This season keeps getting better and better and better. The only episode I did not like was episode 2. But ever since then, every single episode has been a jaw-dropping episode. Another cool moment in this thing is we finally see the Razor Crest get blown up into pieces. The one funny thing I can say about this whole season of The Mandalorian, the Razor Crest has been through some shit. Been through a lot of shit. It's now gotten blown up. It's gone through a lot of technical issues, but the Razor Crest is now like finito. It's gone. Like it is destroyed. And the only thing that survived was that metal staff that Ahsoka gave him in the last episode, that I'm assuming we will see used further along in this episode. Another great moment in this episode where we saw Moff Gideon unleash the dark stormtroopers. Very cool of how they appeared. It looks like it's going to be a new level of fighting. I think that, the Mandalorian is going to be assembling a team, which they alluded to in this episode, that they're going to be assimilating a team to go get Baby Yoda, because what happens is the dark stormtroopers take Baby Yoda. Now Moff Gideon has Baby Yoda, and man, every time I see Moff Gideon on screen, I'm like, this is my favorite character. Like, fuck Mandalorian. Like, Moff Gideon is my favorite character of this whole stream. Mitch Ladazas. Well, what's up, Mitch? Thanks for coming to the stream. He writes, "And the metal ball survived the Razor Crest." Yes, the metal balls survived the Razor Crest, which was weird. It's just like almost anything that's metal can survive an explosion like that. But I have to say, the most comedic relief we have seen from this show has not only been just Baby Yoda, but the Razor Crest. Who knew that a ship could be a large part of this series? Because like I said before, that whole ship has gone through a lot of hell since we've seen it in this show. So it's just crazy. Another really cool part I would like to say is that Mando is starting to trust some of these other Mandalorians like Boba Fett and then Bo-Katan that we've seen in the previous episodes to assist him on his journey. And I'm loving the fact that they're taking the aspects of a Western and modernizing it to a Star Wars feel. And it's like Mandalorian is like an unstoppable being that can't be beat. One thing I will say, though, I am very interested to see what they're going to do in the next episodes. We have literally 2 episodes left, guys. Like in 2 weeks, this is over. And there'll be no more Mandalorian season 2. We won't get season 3 until potentially next year. Hopefully when all this COVID stuff is vanquished and over with. But man, like this is just crazy. Like this season of Mandalorian has been my favorite. It's been my favorite thing about Star Wars. I have to say that, like, it's been my favorite thing about Star Wars. Mitch, if you're still in the chat, what were your favorite moments in the episode? Like, what were your favorite moments of The Mandalorian? Let me know in the chat, and we'll definitely discuss those. But man, A lot of exhilarating moments in this episode. Another cool thing about this episode, I'm going to just refresh that real quick. Yeah, so a lot of other cool things about this episode is we do get to see the Razor Crest one last time in the beginning of the episode, and then that's it. By the way, that ship that Mando has, not Mando, but Boba Fett has, I think that ship is actually pretty cool. Like, it's funny that he was tracking Mando the whole time in that small little ship, but apparently it gets the job done for what it is. So that was another cool thing. But man, I have to say, I've really enjoyed this season of Mandalorian. From this point on, since we got 2 more episodes left, they can go nowhere but up. Like, I don't really see them like losing at all. Like, they can go nowhere but up in this episode. I mean, like I stated, from beginning to end, action packed. This also excites me to see the Boba Fett, a Boba Fett Disney Plus series that's coming to the Disney Plus. Me pressing play, smiling. I mean, hey, it's funny. I'll say this. I was after watching the Ahsoka Tano episode, I was like, damn, like I have to wait another week to see what happens next. And I have to say, during this pandemic, this is the one good thing that I have not seen. This is the one good thing that I have seen that has kept me on the edge of my seat in terms of TV. There have been other shows as well, but this one, I just want to see how the story ends now. I just can't wait to see how this story is going to end. Mitch also writes, the title being the tragedy. Oh no. I mean, yeah, like who would have thought that Baby Yoda was going to get captured? Like, I mean, Baby Yoda survived a whole season in season 1 not being captured. And now he's captured. And I can't wait to see what episode 7 and 8 are going to be like. So episode 7 looks like it's going to be a showstopper. And then episode 8, mark my words, is going to be the end game of what's going to come. And I guarantee it's going to set up a huge teaser to what season 3 is going to ultimately look like. So I am super, super excited. I didn't want to stay too long on this stream because the episode was only about 30 minutes, a little over about 30 minutes. And I'm already about 13 minutes into the stream. But man, this was such a great episode. I want to thank Mitch and Han Solo, the great Han Solo, stopping by from watching. Like I said, this was an amazing episode. Guys, if you are a fan of the show Real Debates, the highlights of that show will come out later today. I'll put a premiere up later today so that way you guys can see it. And you guys can talk about it. Mitch also writes, Boba Fett's ship is named Slave One. So not sure if you like it now. LOL. Yeah, that is kind of weird. Yeah, that's very weird. Why is it called Slave One? Yeah, that's very problematic. Yeah. So, but yes, I'll be putting out a Real Debates highlight show today. Like, that's coming out today. So stay tuned for that. Once I put it in the premiere tab, you'll definitely see it pop up. And also, season 2 of Real Debates is starting soon. So, keep staying tuned to what's coming out to Momentum Media. And guys, if you are a supporter of mine, just like, comment, and subscribe. Share my content. We get the word out so that way we get all this great stuff, building a great community here, what we got going on Momentum Media. Also, if you guys want to be a humongous supporter, a greater supporter, go to this link up here. Patreon.com/Momentum Media. Become a Patreon supporter. Whatever you can do to help donate and support what we got going on helps us create great content here at Momentum Media. So thank you guys so much for watching this amazing episode of the Mandalorian After Show. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, you guys, you have a blessed day.